All right, what's up, guys? How's everybody going? Listen, first off, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came by the booth at the Orlando premiere. It was incredible. Everybody who attended the class and showed love and sent out those reviews. We really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Dope t-shirt, by the way. Shout out to Clean Cuts, the one. So I wanted to talk about that. Obviously, we appreciate the love. It was an awesome time. If you didn't go, you gotta go next year, guys. The biggest hair and beauty show in the country. It did not let down. It was incredible. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Tune 45 real quick. And then I'll tell you guys what we're doing in the haircut. But Tune 45. So a lot of you have been following my channel and Bozzy's channel since the beginning. Some of the people that have come on new, I wanted to touch base just so you guys knew what this was about. Tune 45, you know, this whole movement, the Die a Legend, the meaning behind Tune 45, right? So the meaning behind Tune 45, in the Egyptian times, the only people that got proper burials were people of high society, people of royalty, people of money, etc. So the most famous barber of that era was Barber Mayet, and he was mummified. He got a proper burial. So it makes you think, right? Like, if barbers were at the same level as high society, royalty, priest, people of importance, you know, I hate it when people say I'm just a barber. They knock this profession. You know, I love what I do. This is how I feed my family. This is how I put food on the table. This is how I keep the lights on. I'm passionate about what I do. And the color green, we chose the color green because green in those times was the symbol, or it meant rebirth. So it's the rebirth of this industry. That's the whole movement behind Build the Legacy and Die a Legend, right? That's the whole purpose and why everything was thought out this way, and the name, why we chose Tune 45. Barber Mayet's tomb, or his tomb sits in the Philadelphia Museum. He's a barber. He died a legend. So let's all build legacies and let's die a legend. Let's bring respect back to this game. I love this industry. I'm passionate about this industry, and I know a lot of you are as well. But if we don't do something about it, nothing's gonna change. We gotta bring the respect back to this industry. And if anybody tells you that you know, you're just a barber, or, you know, there's no respect in this game, you should go get yourself a career, which this is a career, you tell them I said, it doesn't matter what they think. In this haircut tutorial today, we're doing a high taper with some beard work, we're doing some shear work on top, and then we're finishing it off with some color enhancement. Some people knock barbers on color enhancement. I'm here to serve the customer. I serve you guys with the tutorials, but as a barber behind the chair, I serve my customers. If you vibe with anything that you heard on this channel in the intro, in the beginning, or you like these haircut tutorials, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram as Headlines Are Bust. I usually drop any information, all pictures of my haircuts, or if new videos are gonna come out, I drop it right there. And if you're subscribed, or you're gonna subscribe now, you're gonna hit that subscribe button right there. Make sure you turn on notifications. Get active in the comments and smash that like button. Let's get started. And as always, I always appreciate your time. All right, guys, so let's get started. Real quick, this weekend, Sunday, I'm going to be a guest judge at the Exotics Hair Battle Tour. So come through, check it out. You can meet me. I'd love to kick it with you guys. So here's a little before action. Like I said, we were going to do a high taper with the beard work. We're going to do some shear work on top. We're going to start off with our magic clips here with the number 2 guard, the wall premium guards with the lever all the way closed, so it's a number 2. And we're going to begin to create our first guideline here. Like I said, if you guys were part of that class at the Orlando premiere, or you came through and showed love, shout out to everyone. Appreciate all of you guys. So here we got the wall premium number 4 guard, and we're beginning to remove bulk towards the top here. Notice how I'm just going off the ridge of the head. I'm not following the shape of the head, and I'm not digging into the top. Here I'm just removing a little bit of weight, going with the grain, just to smooth it out. And again, I'm just going right off the ridge. So here we're using the wall premium number 3 guard with the lever open. That'll blend right into that number 4. And then we move it to the middle position, and then to the close position, which is a true 3. Here we're back using the number 2 with the lever open, which is the equivalent to a 2.5, and that'll blend into the number 3 that we just established. So what you do to one side, you must do to the other, right? So here we have the number 4 guard again, going right off the ridge. not following the shape of the head and digging into the hair in the top. We're going to take care of that with the shears, and we're just starting to remove bulk off the sides. So here I'm using my Andes Slimline Pros, and I'm beginning my first guideline to start this taper. As you can see, I leave it darker towards the front. It's almost like a little half moon shape, and I do that because I want that edge to pop. So I'm doing the same thing in the back here, establishing my first guideline, and I'm doing more of a half moon shape, same thing as the sides, so that that edge pops on the sides. Just gives it a more defined look. So here I'm using the magic clips with the lever all the way open, and we're going to follow the same shape that we created with the original guideline. Once we've established that next guideline, we're going to move it to the middle position and then the close position. And as we close that lever, we use I'm almost using 3 teeth. Just 3 teeth. As you can see, I'm just barely using the full face of the clipper. Once that's blended out, now I'm using the Wall Premium number 1 guard with the lever open. That's going to blend in right into that number 2 that we established at the very beginning of the haircut. We're going to move it to the middle position and then to the closed. Same thing here. As I close that lever, I'm just using 3 teeth. I'm barely using the full face of the clipper. So here we're using the Wall half guard. Some barbers knock this. I'm kind of like my barber brother Chris Bossio. If the tool's there for me to use, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to try and flex on people or try and I'm a better barber than this guy or that guy. If the tool's there, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to make my job any harder. So here I'm using this Andes Slimline Pros, and I'm just following the natural hairline here, and I'm using the corners of the blade almost like a pencil to create the shape that I want. Here we're going up about 1/4 inch, half an inch. Again, we're using the open middle closed technique. So we're moving to the middle and then closed. Don't be afraid to raise that particular part when you have the lever open, because the blend will look kind of crimped if you don't. Here we're using the Wall Premium Guard number 1 with the lever open. Again, that blends into that number 2 that we established at the very beginning of the haircut. And then we use the open middle closed. Same thing with the half guard that I'm using here. It doesn't look like it, but if you look closely, I'm just using the corners of the blade there. And once again, what you do to one side, you must do to another. Unless your customer wants some sort of unique look or something. But my customers tend to want the same thing on one side that they get to another side. So we're going to follow the same steps. We got the number 1 guard here with the lever all the way open. That blends right into that number 2. Using the open middle close technique as well as the 3 teeth technique. Want to make sure you don't use the full face of the clipper or more than 3 or 4 teeth at a time when you're blending these confined areas, especially when you're using smaller guards, because you don't want to risk raising the taper or the fade. If you're fading, same thing applies. So here, this is why I said I did that half moon shape. I wanted that edge here to pop. You see how it pops? Just gives it a more defined look, just a more detailed look, in my opinion. So here I'm wetting the hair, making sure that it's wet all the way around. Hair has elasticity to it, so if you don't wet it all the way, some parts of it can be longer than others. So you want to cut either fully wet or fully dry. So right here, I'm just establishing the guideline straight down the middle, and I'm just following that guideline. I'm combing the hair back, and as I pick it up, I can see the hair in front that I've cut, and I just match it up to that hair. So now that we established our guideline in the middle, you can see that towards the inside of my knuckles, the longer hair is there, and I just match it up. It's just like connecting the dots. I just connect the dots with the center of the hair. Same thing here, except the longer hair is towards the outside. And I'm cutting it towards what's inside, closer to the inside of my knuckle. That's my guideline. So here, it's connecting the two dots, the ones in this towards the top of the hair and towards the bottom. Those are the two guidelines. You connect them, and it just gives you a smooth transition. You see, the hair in the middle is longer, and then there's a shorter dot and a longer dot towards the center and the outside of my fingers. Here I'm using shear over comb technique just to give it a smooth transition, bring everything together, bring the blend together. It's my favorite way to blend. Some barbers use clipper over comb. I prefer just shear over comb. I always have. I feel like I have more control. It's subjective. Some barbers feel like they have more control with clipper over comb. I just prefer the shears. When you hear me reference weight or bulk, this is what I mean. This is weight and bulk that I'm removing off of the sides to give it a nice smooth transition in the whole blend. So here I'm just consulting my client, asking him if he wants to edge in the front. I can edge it up, but I just let him know, would you like me to edge it up or not? He has somewhat of a widow's peak in the front. So you guys make sure you're open with your clients about that, because when your client has a widow's peak like that, some clients want to edge it up, and that's fine, but you got to let them know that it's going to require more maintenance. When that widow's peak grows in, it's not going to look very good. So it's just me letting the client know. He decided to go with a natural hairline in the very front. Just keep it natural. Here I'm shaping the beard up, just the outsides of it. And now I'm blending the beard into the taper. I'm using the 1.5 guard here with the lever open, and I'm just blending my way down in guards. I'm blending up, but I'm blending my way down in guards. So I started with a higher guard, and I'm moving towards shorter guards. Same thing here with the 1.5 guard. Then we move it to the middle position, the closed position, just like a fade. And then we move to the number 1 guard, the middle position, then closed, and then we go to the half guard, and that'll blend right into that taper. Here I'm shaping up the other side of the beard. Some customers like this part to be flat. I would recommend, or educate your customer. It looks better coming down towards the back of the cheekbone. So right here I'm shaping the mustache. For everyone out there, not all mustaches have to be pencil thin, especially with a full beard like this. So make sure you educate your client, and you yourself, you should know better. Mustaches should not be that skinny. If the customer wants it anyways, then hey, the customer's always right. But you should always let them know that it'll look more proportioned, just better, without a pencil thin mustache on a thick beard. Here I use some setting spray. I just sprayed it into the beard. I combed it all out so everything is out and set, and I have a good canvas to work with. And I'm just trimming the beard. I'm kind of shaping it. Now I'm using 245 shave gel. You guys heard all about that in the intro. You can get any of your gear or shave gel products at 245.com. I'm just using the shave gel here to really give myself a clean canvas to work with, because like I said in the beginning, I'm going to do some color enhancement here. So I want to make sure that I have a shape that I'm working with on where I'm going to apply the color enhancement. And notice I have a barber comb in my hand. That's to wipe off the excess shave gel. That shave gel is a blessing, but it can also be deceiving. It'll give you a nice sharp clean line from the residue, but as soon as the customer gets home and washes their face or takes a shower, all that residue comes off, and that nice crispy line that you left them with and you showed them in the mirror is now gone. So you want to make sure you wipe off that excess and then go back over it again with the razor to make sure it's a nice sharp clean line. So here I'm using hair fibers, and I'm using the business card as a blocker to block any fiber from getting on my client's cheek or anywhere else other than the area that I want it in. As you can see, I'm not right on the area, I'm just kind of a couple feet away, and I'm just slowly spraying it on. How can I put this? Take your time with it. You don't have to rush. You can continue to add more and touch it up and then hit it with the razor and then touch it up again. If you add too much, then you're just going to make a mess and you have to wipe it off and start over again. To finish this off, you can see I'm doing it on this side as well. To finish this off, you want to use a little bit of hairspray. Same thing, use the business card as a deterrent to keep it out of your customer's face or their eyes or their mouth, and spray it with hairspray, and it'll last a little bit longer. Kind of seals it with the hairspray. So here's the final product. As always, I want to thank you for taking a little time out of your day to spend some time with me in these haircut tutorials. And as always, I appreciate your time, and I will see y'all next week.